Three separate workouts. Workout number one, viewer, you may recall, was chest and back.
Mike is 27, a pre-med student. He won the 1976 Mr. America.
It's a wonderful endeavor in and of itself. There's a lot of self-satisfaction.
Well, certainly a bodybuilder has to have a knowledge of all the muscles, but that's not why I chose medicine, no.
Also judged to have the best arms and the best legs.
I came to see quite clearly that there was corruption involved. On developing other aspects of your life along with it, like your philosophy, then you're just going to end up with...
Mentzer on high-intensity training. Mike Mentzer's impact on the bodybuilding world during the late 1970s and early 1980s was profound, as he championed the concept of high-intensity training and introduced his revolutionary heavy-duty system. Drawing inspiration from Arthur Jones' HIT principles, Mentzer sought to challenge conventional bodybuilding training techniques and push the boundaries of what was considered possible in muscle development. Mentzer's rise to fame began with a remarkable debut in the IFBB Pro League at the age of 27. He quickly gained recognition for his impressive physique, particularly known for his dense deltoids, arms, and legs. While he did not secure the overall title, he made his mark by triumphing in the heavyweight division of the prestigious Mr. Olympia competition. Central to Mentzer's approach was the notion of high-intensity training, which he firmly believed to be the key to unlocking maximum muscle growth. The foundation of his heavy-duty system rested on the principle of training to failure, where individuals would push their bodies to 100% intensity during workouts. According to Mentzer, there were only two perfect measures of intensity: 0% during complete rest and 100% when exerting the highest possible effort during exercise. Mentzer's philosophy was grounded in the belief that reaching failure during training, and even going beyond failure, was essential for stimulating every potential growth stimulation point in the muscles. This focus on training to fail became a fundamental aspect of his heavy-duty system. By utilizing fewer repetitions and lifting heavier weights, Mentzer aimed to optimize muscle stimulation and encourage maximum growth. In a resurfaced YouTube video, Mentzer passionately explained why training to failure was not detrimental, but in fact, absolutely necessary for stimulating muscle growth. He emphasized that as long as one goes all out, reaching the 100% intensity mark, they activate all the necessary mechanisms for muscle development. To Mentzer, it was not about the fear of injury, as many might assume, but rather about achieving the maximum potential for growth. The heavy-duty training routine devised by Mike Mentzer primarily revolved around lifting weights heavy enough to induce failure within the range of 6 to 9 repetitions. After reaching failure, Mentzer would continue the set by performing an additional 2 to 3 forced reps with the assistance of a spotter. Importantly, maintaining proper form during these intense sets was crucial to prevent injuries and ensure effective muscle stimulation. In terms of training frequency, Mentzer's approach was relatively infrequent compared to the high-volume training favored by many bodybuilders of his time. He allocated 3 days for workouts and dedicated the remaining 4 days to rest and recovery. Mentzer acknowledged the vital role of rest and recuperation in promoting muscle development. By allowing the body sufficient time to recover between workouts, he aimed to maximize the growth potential during each training session. While Mike Mentzer's heavy-duty system garnered significant attention and produced impressive results for some, it also faced criticism and challenges. Some critics questioned the sustainability of constant maximum intensity training, which could potentially lead to central nervous system overload and eventual burnout. Additionally, the average person may not possess sufficient neuromuscular efficiency to activate all muscle fibers in one set, necessitating multiple sets for effective muscle stimulation. Despite the controversies and differing opinions, Mike Mentzer's contributions to bodybuilding, particularly in promoting high-intensity training and his heavy-duty system, have left a lasting impact on the fitness community. His dedication to pushing the boundaries of muscle development and challenging conventional training methods continues to inspire athletes and fitness enthusiasts to this day. Whether one follows the heavy-duty system or not, there is no denying the significance of Mentzer's legacy in shaping the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Mentzer's training philosophy. Mike Mentzer's training philosophy revolved around the core principle of identifying intensity through maximum effort. He firmly believed that the true intensity could only be achieved by exerting the highest possible effort during training. According to Mentzer, there were two perfect measures of intensity: 0% during complete rest and 100% when pushing oneself to the absolute limit during exercise. This perspective on intensity formed the foundation of his revolutionary heavy-duty system. In contrast to traditional bodybuilding approaches that often advocated for high volume and long hours in the gym, Mentzer challenged the status quo by promoting a different path to muscle development. His goal was to optimize muscle stimulation and encourage maximum growth by strategically pushing the body to its limits. Central to Mentzer's philosophy was the concept of training to failure, which became a fundamental aspect of the heavy-duty system. He believed that in order to stimulate every potential growth stimulation point in the muscles, one must push their training to the point of failure and even go beyond it. Contrary to common misconceptions that training to failure could be detrimental, Mentzer passionately argued that it was not harmful but in fact absolutely necessary for achieving maximum muscle growth. In practice, Mentzer's heavy-duty system involved using fewer repetitions and lifting heavier weights to induce failure within a specific rep range, typically between 6 to 9 reps. By employing heavy weights, he aimed to create a high level of tension and stress in the targeted muscles, thereby maximizing their potential for growth. Once failure was reached, Mentzer took it a step further by performing additional forced reps with the help of a spotter. These forced reps pushed the muscles even beyond their previous limits, triggering further growth stimulation. It was crucial during these intense sets to maintain proper form and avoid compromising the safety and effectiveness of the exercises. The heavy-duty system challenged the notion of high-volume training and focused instead on intensity. Rather than performing multiple sets of an exercise, Mentzer advocated for a single set that was taken to failure. This approach allowed for shorter and more efficient workouts, giving the muscles ample time to recover and grow between sessions. Mentzer's emphasis on intensity and training to failure was grounded in his belief that the key to muscle growth was to activate all the necessary mechanisms for growth during each workout. By reaching failure and pushing beyond it, he believed that individuals could achieve the maximum potential for muscle development. While Mentzer's heavy-duty system produced impressive results for some, it was not without its critics and challenges. Some argued that constantly training to failure and beyond could lead to central nervous system fatigue and burnout. Additionally, the effectiveness of the heavy-duty system varied among individuals, with some responding better to higher volume approaches. Unconventional approaches. Mike Mentzer's approach to nutrition and recovery was unconventional compared to the prevailing practices of his time. While many bodybuilders were focused on consuming excessively high amounts of protein and adhering to rigid dietary plans, Mentzer advocated for a more individualized and balanced approach to nutrition. One of the key aspects of Mentzer's nutrition philosophy was calorie counting. Long before the "if it fits your macros" diet trend became popular, Mentzer recognized the importance of understanding and managing caloric intake. He believed that the quantity and quality of calories consumed were crucial for achieving optimal results in bodybuilding. Unlike some bodybuilders who aim to maximize protein intake, often consuming vast amounts of it, Mentzer challenged the notion that extremely high protein levels were necessary for muscle growth. Instead, he emphasized the importance of a well-rounded diet that provided a balance of macronutrients, protein, carbohydrates, and fats based on individual needs and goals. Mentzer understood that every person's body and metabolism were unique, and as such, their nutritional requirements would differ. Rather than following one-size-fits-all dietary recommendations, he encouraged bodybuilders to pay attention to their bodies and adjust their calorie consumption accordingly. This personalized approach allowed individuals to tailor their diets to support their specific training and recovery needs. In addition to his unconventional approach to nutrition, Mentzer also recognized the crucial role of rest and recovery in muscle development. As he advanced in bodybuilding and gained a deeper understanding of how the body responds to training, he extended his rest intervals between workout sessions. Instead of training frequently like many of his peers, Mentzer adopted a less frequent workout schedule, allowing his body ample time to recover and recuperate. He typically allocated 4 to 7 days between workouts, depending on the intensity and volume of the training session. This extended recovery period gave his muscles the opportunity to repair and grow, optimizing the results of his workouts. Mentzer understood that muscle growth occurred during the recovery phase, and giving the body enough time to rest was essential for achieving maximum gains. Mentzer's emphasis on rest and recovery was in line with his overall philosophy of quality over quantity. Rather than training excessively and risking overtraining, he believed that shorter, more intense workouts, followed by ample recovery time, were more effective in promoting muscle growth and overall well-being. While Mentzer's unconventional nutrition and recovery approaches may have been ahead of his time, they continue to be relevant in the fitness world today. Many modern fitness enthusiasts and athletes recognize the importance of personalized nutrition plans based on individual needs and goals. The concept of optimizing recovery through sufficient rest and allowing the body time to rebuild and adapt is also widely accepted in various training methodologies. In conclusion, Mike Mentzer's approach to nutrition and recovery challenged traditional bodybuilding practices of his time. He advocated for calorie counting and personalized nutrition plans, rejecting the notion of excessively high protein intake. Instead, he emphasized a well-rounded diet tailored to individual needs. Mentzer's understanding of the significance of rest and recovery led him to adopt less frequent training schedules, allowing his body sufficient time to recuperate and maximize muscle growth. While unconventional at the time, his philosophy of quality over quantity and individualized approaches to nutrition and recovery remain influential and relevant in the fitness community today. Evolution of Mentzer's training approach. Mike Mentzer's training approach underwent a significant evolution throughout his bodybuilding career. Initially, he followed the high-volume training methods popularized by bodybuilding legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Joe Weider. However, he became increasingly dissatisfied with the gains achieved through these conventional methods, especially for non-steroid-assisted individuals. This dissatisfaction led him to embark on a journey of research and exploration, ultimately leading to the development of his high-intensity training principles and the creation of the iconic heavy-duty system. In the early stages of his bodybuilding journey, Mike Mentzer embraced the high-volume training advocated by the bodybuilding establishment of his time. This approach typically involved performing multiple sets of exercises for each muscle group and training each muscle group frequently throughout the week. It was the prevailing belief that higher volume and greater training frequency would lead to superior muscle growth. However, as Mentzer continued his bodybuilding endeavors, he observed that the gains achieved through traditional high-volume training were not as substantial as he had hoped, particularly for natural athletes. He began to question the effectiveness of these methods and sought alternative approaches to optimize muscle development. Mentzer's quest for a more effective training approach led him to collaborate with Arthur Jones, the founder of Nautilus and a pioneer in the field of exercise science. Jones had already been exploring the principles of high-intensity training and its potential benefits for muscle growth and strength development. Through his collaboration with Jones, Mentzer delved into the science of exercise physiology and biomechanics, seeking a deeper understanding of how muscles respond to different training stimuli. This research laid the groundwork for the development of his high-intensity training principles. The culmination of Mentzer's research and experimentation was the creation of the heavy-duty system. The heavy-duty system represented a departure from the high-volume training methods of the era and emphasized the importance of intensity and effort during workouts. In the heavy-duty system, Mentzer advocated for training with maximum intensity, taking each set to the point of muscular failure. This meant pushing the muscles to the absolute limit where no further repetitions could be performed with proper form. In essence, it was about achieving 100% effort during each set. A key aspect of the heavy-duty system was training infrequently. Instead of training a muscle group multiple times per week, Mentzer recommended training each muscle group only 3 to 4 times every 2 weeks. This allowed for ample recovery time, ensuring that the muscles were fully rested and prepared for the next intense workout. In addition to infrequent training, Mentzer incorporated various intensity-boosting techniques into his workouts. These included drop sets, where the weight is reduced after reaching failure to perform additional reps, negatives, which involve focusing on the eccentric or lowering phase of an exercise, and partial reps, which involve performing partial range of motion movements to maintain tension in the muscles. Mentzer's heavy-duty system gained popularity among bodybuilders and fitness enthusiasts, and he became a vocal advocate for his approach through his writings, training videos, and seminars. However, it is important to note that the heavy-duty system was not without its critics and skeptics. Some questioned the sustainability of such intense training, while others debated the effectiveness of the system for natural athletes. Despite the controversies, Mike Mentzer's contributions to the world of bodybuilding and fitness cannot be denied. His research and innovation in high-intensity training, as exemplified by the heavy-duty system, continue to influence the fitness industry to this day. While the heavy-duty system may not be suitable for everyone, Mentzer's dedication to questioning traditional training methods and seeking more effective approaches has left a lasting impact on the field of exercise science and bodybuilding. Criticisms and challenges. Despite its promising principles, Mike Mentzer's heavy-duty system faced various criticisms and challenges that raised questions about its sustainability and effectiveness for all individuals, particularly natural athletes. One of the primary criticisms of the heavy-duty system is the difficulty of sustaining constant maximum intensity training. While Mentzer advocated for pushing each set to the point of failure and beyond, training at such high levels of intensity on a consistent basis can be mentally and physically taxing. Constantly training to failure places significant stress on the central nervous system, and this high level of intensity may lead to burnout and fatigue over time. Training to failure in every workout can also lead to mental exhaustion and a negative psychological impact. It may become challenging for individuals to maintain the motivation and mental fortitude required to push themselves to the absolute limit during every training session. This constant pressure to reach failure may lead to a decline in training enthusiasm and could negatively affect long-term adherence to the heavy-duty system. Furthermore, the average person may not possess sufficient neuromuscular efficiency to activate all muscle fibers in one set. While Mentzer believed that a single intense set was enough to stimulate maximum muscle growth, scientific research indicates that the average individual typically activates only a fraction of their available muscle fibers during one set of exercise. In reality, multiple sets may be required to effectively target and fatigue a broader range of muscle fibers for optimal growth. The effectiveness of the heavy-duty system also depends on an individual's training experience and level of muscular development. For professional bodybuilders and elite athletes who have achieved a high level of neuromuscular efficiency and have already maximized their muscle development, a single set to failure may provide sufficient stimulation for maintenance and growth. However, for beginners and intermediate lifters, multiple sets might be necessary to achieve the desired results. Additionally, for natural athletes, the heavy-duty system's singular focus on intensity may not be sufficient for achieving optimal muscle growth. While intensity is essential for muscle stimulation, growth requires a combination of intensity and volume. Volume refers to the total amount of work performed, including the number of sets and repetitions. Research shows that moderate to high training volume is beneficial for hypertrophy in natural athletes, as it provides a greater cumulative effect on muscle growth. The heavy-duty system's reliance on a single set per exercise may not provide enough total training volume to maximize muscle growth for natural athletes. For this reason, some critics argue that natural bodybuilders may benefit more from higher training volume, spreading the workload over multiple sets to achieve greater overall muscle stimulation. It is crucial to acknowledge that fitness and bodybuilding are highly individualized pursuits, and different training approaches work differently for various individuals. While some may thrive on the heavy-duty system's intensity, others may find it too demanding and unsustainable for their lifestyle and training preferences. In conclusion, Mike Mentzer's heavy-duty system faced valid criticisms and challenges regarding its sustainability, efficacy, and suitability for all individuals, particularly natural athletes. While the system has proven effective for some elite bodybuilders, it may not be the most optimal or practical approach for everyone. Balancing intensity with volume and considering individual differences in training experience and muscle development are crucial aspects of designing an effective and sustainable training program. Ultimately, finding a training approach that aligns with one's goals, preferences, and capabilities is essential for long-term success and progress in the world of fitness and bodybuilding. The heavy-duty approach. One of Mike Mentzer's most significant contributions to bodybuilding literature was his book Heavy Duty. Published in 1983, Heavy Duty outlined his high-intensity training principles in detail, presenting a scientific and logical approach to muscle growth and strength development. In the book, Mentzer stressed the importance of intensity over volume and provided guidelines for structuring workouts and tracking progress. He believed the body could achieve optimal muscle growth and strength gains through brief, intense workouts and adequate recovery. The heavy-duty system was designed to optimize results while minimizing the risk of overtraining. Mentzer believed that the key to muscle growth was to push the muscles to their maximum capacity during each workout. He advocated training for muscular failure, which meant continuing a set until completing another repetition with proper form was impossible. Mentzer emphasized the importance of allowing the body sufficient time to recover between workouts.
It's a wonderful endeavor in and of itself. There's a lot of self-satisfaction.
Well, certainly a bodybuilder has to have a knowledge of all the muscles, but that's not why I chose medicine, no.
He believed muscles grew during the recovery phase, not during the training. As a result, he recommended more extended rest periods between training sessions. Heavy duty became a classic in bodybuilding literature and gained a cult following among fitness enthusiasts and aspiring bodybuilders. The impact and legacy. The impact and legacy of Mike Mentzer in the world of bodybuilding and fitness are undeniable. He was not only known for his remarkable physique, but also for his innovative training philosophy and advocacy for high-intensity training. Mentzer's influence can be seen through various aspects of his career and contributions to the fitness community. First and foremost, Mike Mentzer's bodybuilding achievements made him a prominent figure in the sport during the late 70s and early 80s. His success as an IFBB Pro League competitor, especially his triumph in the heavyweight division of the Mr. Olympia competition, solidified his position among the top bodybuilders of his time. Mentzer's impressive physique and competitive accomplishments served as inspiration for aspiring bodybuilders and fitness enthusiasts worldwide. Mentzer's impact extended beyond the stage through his writings and training materials. He authored several influential books on bodybuilding and high-intensity training, including Heavy Duty, High-Intensity Training the Mike Mentzer Way, and The Wisdom of Mike Mentzer. These publications provided in-depth insights into his training principles, philosophy, and unique approach to bodybuilding. His books continue to be read and referenced by fitness enthusiasts, coaches, and trainers seeking to gain knowledge on HIIT and unconventional training methodologies. In addition to his written works, Mentzer's training videos have been instrumental in disseminating his heavy-duty system to a broader audience. These videos showcased his training methods and provided practical guidance on how to implement high-intensity training in workouts. His clear and passionate explanations made his training philosophy accessible to individuals looking to maximize their training efficiency and results. Mentzer's advocacy for high-intensity training and the heavy-duty system sparked considerable interest and debate within the bodybuilding and fitness community. His bold departure from the high-volume training practices of his time challenged conventional wisdom and encouraged critical thinking about various training approaches. While some embraced the principles of HIIT and achieved positive results, others raised valid criticisms and questioned the system's applicability, especially for natural athletes. One aspect that is often debated when discussing Mentzer's legacy is his use of steroids. Like many of his contemporaries in the bodybuilding world, Mentzer acknowledged using anabolic steroids to achieve his remarkable physique. This disclosure has led to discussions about the role of performance-enhancing substances in bodybuilding and the implications for natural athletes. While Mentzer's training principles and philosophy continue to be relevant and influential, the effectiveness of the heavy-duty system for natural bodybuilders remains a subject of debate. Some argue that the principles of HIIT, such as training to failure and focusing on intensity, can be beneficial for natural athletes as well. They believe that while the heavy-duty system may have been developed by and for enhanced bodybuilders, the principles themselves can still be applied to natural training with appropriate adjustments. On the other hand, critics assert that natural bodybuilders may require more volume and frequency to achieve optimal muscle growth and progress without the aid of performance-enhancing substances. They suggest that finding the right balance between intensity and volume is essential for natural athletes to stimulate muscle growth effectively and avoid the risk of overtraining and burnout. Despite the ongoing debates, Mike Mentzer's impact on bodybuilding and fitness endures. His revolutionary approach to training and his willingness to question traditional methods have inspired countless individuals to explore alternative training philosophies and optimize their fitness journeys. The heavy-duty system, in conjunction with the principles of high-intensity training, continues to be a point of reference and experimentation for those seeking to challenge themselves and achieve their fitness goals. In conclusion, Mike Mentzer's legacy in the world of bodybuilding and fitness is marked by his impressive physique, pioneering training philosophy, and advocacy for high-intensity training. His contributions through books, training videos, and the heavy-duty system have left a lasting impact on the fitness community. However, discussions about the applicability of his training principles to natural bodybuilders and the role of performance-enhancing substances in bodybuilding remain topics of ongoing debate. Regardless of these discussions, Mentzer's influence on the sport and the exploration of innovative training methodologies continue to shape the fitness landscape. That's all for this video, folks. Thank you so much for watching our video today, and we will see you next time.